We are proud to think of ourselves as citizens of the land of the free. And often we hear that freedom is to be identified with free enterprise. Now, certainly free enterprise is an essential part of a free society. But it is not the same thing as political freedom, nor the freedoms that we exercise in the family. Moreover, there's a tendency to think about free enterprise as if it were really essentially connected to entrepreneurship. But I think we need to eliminate confusion on this score, and we need to think about focusing on leveling the playing field between employer and employee, and I want to show why that's the case. Now, there are a lot of myths concerning entrepreneurship in America. Many want to suggest that everyone can and ought to become an entrepreneur, that only then can they have genuine economic independence and security. Moreover, there are two other myths that are associated with entrepreneurship. And the first one is that entrepreneurs are job creators. And secondly, that entrepreneurs are the true risk takers. Now, many of these confused ideas are associated with the idea that small businesses are the center of economic dynamism in a market society such as ours. The claim is often made that most job creation depends upon small businesses and that they are a dominant force in our economy. The facts tell us otherwise. Large businesses, businesses defined as employing 500 or more workers, actually employ more than half of the American workforce. Moreover, businesses that are not so small, that have between 550 employees, employ another third of all employees. Now, of the remaining portion of employment, it turns out that this also is not to be allotted to small businesses. There are 27 million small businesses, according to current statistics. It turns out that 24 million of these so-called small businesses actually employ no one. They are actually freelancers who are selling some good they come up with or some service at a piecework rate. And in effect, they are hardly job creators. Now, generally speaking, if we ask ourselves, why is it the case that small business is not the dominant form in economic life, we have to look at the very structure of competition. And it turns out that in a market, profit-seeking enterprises are forced with the need to grow in size and in capital in order to survive. They have to lower their costs of production. They have to lower their costs of marketing. They have to come up with new products. They have to have the size and magnitude to be able to do any of these matters. And it's for that reason that the dominant players in our economy are large enterprises. And large enterprises employ multiple employees. And it's no accident that there are far fewer employers than there are employees. Now, profit-seeking enterprises are not job creators. They are profit seekers. And profit seeking can involve reducing labor costs, laying off people, sending employment elsewhere, reducing full employment into part-time freelance employment. Alternately, the entrepreneurs of business are by no means the risk takers, because they're in a situation where they have capital or access to capital that allows them to earn a living without having to seek employment. And what happens if they fail? Well, they're in the position of the rest of us. They're in the position of an employee who needs to have a job. And the job seekers are the true risk takers, because if we can't find a job, we have no means to be economically independent and secure. Moreover, it is we employees who are the true job creators, because we spend much more of our wealth than those who are the richest sector of the population, who can spend what they have and then keep a huge amount of the national wealth idle. Now, we have to think about the risks that are being taken by employees. And we have to think about ensuring that employees are able to exercise their economic freedom. And there are two sides to this. On the one hand, we have to ensure that everyone who wants a job can have a job at a living wage. We have to end all poverty wages. Moreover, we have to ensure that employees have some say in the management of their firms, so they are not bystanders to policies that lead to layoffs, that lead to types of automation that get rid of the human touch in areas where it should be maintained. And we also have to ensure that employees are able to bargain collectively over the conditions of their employment. We are here speaking about the vast majority of our population: teachers, nurses, sanitation workers, retail clerks, servers, waitresses. We're speaking about those who fix our roads, who work in our factories, who sell us cars, right? All of these people are employees, and we have to think about their economic rights, their economic freedom. And this requires bold political solutions, and we have to support the candidates who are going to fight for the rights of all and balance the playing field between employer and employee. And this is going to be the true answer to the ethical dilemmas of businesses. Because the entrepreneur faces a dilemma. They can try to be ethical. They can try to pay their employees decent wages. They can try to reduce their working hours and keep them flexible so employees can deal with family difficulties and responsibilities. They can try to provide safe working conditions. They can try to protect the environment. But if any of these efforts involve costs, they are at a competitive disadvantage with other employers who are meaner and leaner. We can redeem entrepreneurs by, as citizens, requiring all businesses to act ethically, to treat their employees with dignity and respect, to pay living wages, to respect the environment, and to be responsible participants in the political life of our country. And we need to fight for candidates who are going to take up the challenge of upholding economic freedom for all.